So Crip just put out another video about the game try to diss Eminem just now. So we're not gonna waste any time talking about this mess. Let's just get to the video.
Black Slim Shady, which is one of the songs off of his album Drillmatic. Black Slim Shady is a 10-minute diss track aimed at Eminem, and while there may be some high points and good bars in the song, that's not what this video is about. This video will undoubtedly get copyright claimed despite falling in line with the fair use policies that YouTube has. So if you really want to help me out and make this worth my while, make sure that your balls are clean and fresh immediately.
Hey Grandma. Yeah, I'm still out making my Uber runs. I just got one more pickup, kinda close to 8 Mile.
Math time. The song starts off with a phone call from the viewpoint of one Matthew Mitchell, the younger brother of Stan, in which Eminem created an entire legacy behind. Matthew's dead, by the way. He died in 2013 in the song Bad Guy, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Matthew Mitchell, big bro is for you. Oh, hope you can swim good. Now say you hate homos again.
Stan came out in the year 2000, and we know that Stan was like Eminem in every way imaginable, which is why he was so obsessive with him. With that into account, we can assume that he was about the same age as Eminem, which would make this year his 50th birthday. Being that he and Matthew are brothers, they have the same mother, obviously, meaning that they also have the same grandmother. With that into account, in 1972, the year in which Stan was born, the median age in which a mother had her first child was 26.7 years old, making Stan and Matthew's mother born in the year 1945 and roughly 77 years old. And in 1945, the year in which Matthew and Stan's mother was born, the median age for a woman to have her first child was 22.8 years old, making Stan and Matthew's grandmother born in 1922, making her 100 years old. That bitch does not have a phone. That bitch don't even know what Uber is. Hell, that bitch ain't alive. And neither is Matthew. This is a conversation between ghosts. Also, Uber strictly prohibits you from touching your phone for phone calls while driving. It's 3 demerit points and a $500 fine. And you can clearly hear that awesome Michigan infrastructure road noise in the background as he's on his way to pick up his last passenger for the night. And since we don't hear his grandmother's voice through the Bluetooth speakers in the car, we know that he's not using the allowed hands-free option. Ghosts are bad Uber drivers.
I don't think they know who they fucking with.
Ah, the classic, you don't know who you're fucking with trope in a diss track. Also, literally no one has said anything. Eminem, the person that...
I think that's the #1 gripe I have with these so-called diss tracks. When they try to diss Eminem, they're not really saying anything. They're just saying some off-the-wall stuff. Like, if you're dissing a rapper, make sure it's about them. Don't be saying some other stuff that don't make sense.
Has not said a thing. He is quite literally not fucking with you because he hasn't said a word.
Hi, I'm the Black Slim Shady.
Hey, an Eminem cadence, get used to that.
Slim Shady's game, sick in the brain, sick is the day that I came.
Hey, an Eminem cadence, get used to that.
Hennessy, I'm clip the ace.
Get used to a lot of this generic rhyming that doesn't really mean anything at all. Also, the game rhymes the word sick with sick 4 different times in the first 4 opening bars.
Sick in the brain, sick is the day that I came. Sick of you niggas, sick and tired of niggas.
I understand he's rhyming other words with sick as well, but sick 4 different times is too many sicks. I'm sick of sicks.
I stick my dick in your podcast.
Hey,
That part really made me turn this video off because, once again, he's not rapping about Eminem. He's rapping about himself. And the fact that he uses his penises to try to get a rise out of Eminem. It ain't working, bro. You're just saying some gay stuff. First of all, pause.
At the end of this song, you're gonna hear about the game telling Eminem not to be lazy when he responds.
And me, I'm finna be on a jet to the Philippines.
Hey, more useless rhyming, get used to that.
G-A-50-50-M, pay my face, I'm him.
Game forgets to add an E when he's spelling, so instead of game, he's now gam. Also, hey, an Eminem cadence, get used to that.
Putting this big black dick in your skims.
Hey, the game talking about his dick,
pause,
get used to that. Also, what the fuck is a skim? Every definition that I've looked up, every noun, verb, everything, slang, Urban Dictionary, everywhere I've looked, there's nothing that would make sense.
I killed Dr. Dre in my basement last night.
Hey, an Eminem cadence, get used to that. Also, game rhymes last night with last night 5 different times in this section.
Basement last night, wasted last night, ape shit last night, placed it last night, tasted last night.
I understand that he's rhyming other words as well, but he's quite literally already done this tactic in this very same song, and we're not even 20% of the way through this 10-minute diss track.
Lost my taste and my smell. I got a Marion.
Twitter.
What?
Also, that counts as a COVID bar, and those are automatic sins nowadays.
Oh
Me
my
and
god.
Dr. Fauci went to Crazy Girls, and then we got our party on.
Dr. Fauci is the chief medical advisor to the United States, and he got famous because of COVID. So guess what? Another COVID bar, another COVID sin.
So fee, fi, fum, I'm with 40 going dumb, not E40 the other 40. I'm with Canadians at Drake House having a stakeout.
This is a very sloppy transition where there's a line thrown in that completely does not rhyme with anything between two other rhymes that set different rhyme schemes apart. Fum and dumb rhyme with each other. Drake's House and stakeout rhyme with each other. But
I'm just gonna say this right here. If you're gonna try to diss Eminem, you better come with some research, actual facts, some bars. Make sure it's dedicated to that one person. And please, for the love of God, help it make sense.
40 means nothing at all here.
What's beef? Beef is when you tell a chef to bring them steaks out.
Yes, game. That is actual beef. But quite literally the exact opposite of the beef that he's referring to and trying to make a punchline about with the Biggie Smalls song, and does so very unsuccessfully.
What's beef? Beef is when you need to.
Oh, this is classic.
Stay the fuck up off of Stanley grass and take a shit in they yard.
Hey, more random ass rhymes. Get used to that.
And my dick
goodness.
stay hard.
Hey, the game talking about his dick. Get used to that.
My dick get little on the internet.
Hey, the game talking about his dick. Get used to that.
Chuck?
Yeah.
The game apparently uses a fake name Chuck to order this Uber driver that he just so happens to know was going to be Matthew. But if you've ever ordered Uber, you know that you don't get to pick your driver. Your driver actually picks the trips itself. And according to the Uber driver's current employee ratings tab, there's at least 68 drivers at any given time in Detroit. And that's just people who decided
That's
to
crazy.
review
You know, like I said, I feel like so many times when Eminem be spitting facts, when he's rapping about a song, rapping about real life environments, people always assume that he's a chicken because he's never been to a club or drink or anything. Apparently, these people did not do the research at all about Marshall Mathers. And mind you, this is the same person who's been sober for almost 12 or 13 years now. And he's been doing fine all by himself, and yet people are still giving him crap for it. And yet again, every time when somebody try to diss Eminem, they lose, and Eminem wins.
minimum amount of people working there, meaning at the absolute best odds, the game would have a 1.4% chance of actually getting Matthew as his Uber driver. Did he just keep ordering Ubers all day like Ricky Bobby's dad kept ordering pizzas to get his son as a delivery driver? Hell, that pizza shop only had 4 delivery drivers, and it still took him 4 times before he finally got Ricky Bobby. So does that mean that the game ordered 67 other Ubers before he finally got this one? Also, you have to register some form of identification when making an Uber account. They literally did this
I
to
don't even
prevent what
mess
the
with
game
Uber
is
at
planning to
all.
do later on in this song. So this whole Chuck charade is just a load of shit.
You don't need that mask. Nobody cares about that shit anymore.
Is that a COVID reference?
You got a charger up there with you?
Yeah, for sure.
Because the game's phone's nearly dead from ordering 67 Ubers before this one.
Hey, yo, I really fuck with that starter cap. That shit hard as fuck.
Because if you didn't already know this is Matthew, the game really wants you to know this is Matthew. Also, holy year 2000 stuck in the past.
Crazy story behind it. My brother Stan, rest in peace.
Does Matthew forget the 7-minute tirade that he went on in 2013 in the song Bad
They're
Guy
trying
where he
so
drove
hard
off a
right now.
bridge and killed himself? Is this like the
Uh-huh.
Halloween franchise where we completely forget that certain plot lines exist?
He gave this hat 22 years ago.
Damn.
I love that they went into detail because Stan actually dropped 22 years ago, but they forget the details that, I don't know, Matthew's dead?
Who signed it for you?
Eminem. He used to be like this rap god.
Bad Guy, the song.
Part really pisses me off when I was listening to this song originally by myself. They always like to throw this narrative thing of how they used to be a fan of Eminem when he was young during his older years, but now they don't like his new stuff. Because let me just say this though. Get this. When people say they want the old Eminem, he gives it to them. If then once he gives it to them, they complain. If then once he goes to the new Eminem, he gives it to them, and they don't even like his new stuff. It's like, what do you people want? Do you want the old Eminem or do you want the new Eminem? Make up your mind, make up your choice. Stop wasting our time. Stop wasting his time. It doesn't matter which version of Eminem he puts out. It's still Eminem regardless if he makes good or bad music. It's the same nigga that came out back in 1999.
before Rap God on the Marshall Mathers LP2 track list. So Matthew, knowing that he died in Bad Guy, would have no idea that the song Rap God even exists. The game is trying to make Matthew have a play on words with Eminem's song Rap God, but even if you ignore the fact that he's talking to a ghost right now, Matthew still feasibly could not be aware of the song. You can argue that Rap God was a single and dropped 2 weeks before the album, so maybe there was a slight chance that Matthew heard it, but no. The album was already available for pre-order and the track list was available at the time, so all songs were already created. Also, why is he explaining who Eminem is? He's driving on 8 Mile, literally anywhere in the world of all places. That is where everyone will know who Eminem is. But all of this is redundant because Matthew's dead!
What am I gonna wear?
Crazy, bro.
I have no clothes.
Man, me and my brother praised him. But that's when I was little. I don't really like any of his new stuff.
So why the fuck are you still wearing the hat with the signature? Also, why has he been wearing this hat for 22 years? That signature would definitely be gone with normal wear and tear. Wouldn't the new stuff be considered recovery for Matthew Mitchell from 2010 since he died before Marshall Mathers LP2 was released? Recovery was fucking awesome. Even Machine Gun Kelly liked Recovery, and he even said this in a diss track to Eminem. I don't know, this whole speaking to Matthew thing is full of non-stop logical fallacies that we're just gonna keep harping on because...
Whoa, wait. I know where we're going. Wait, why do you have a
Yo, shut the
Hey man, I'm driving, I'll get you there, wait.
The game is kidnapping Matthew at gunpoint, even though there's a paper trail leading back exactly to
They
who
try
the game
so hard
is
to
and
make
where
a
they're at
point,
in
and
their
they
current
fail
location.
in
Uber
every
protects their
single
drivers,
step
dog.
of the way.
Shut the fuck up.
Alright.
I love that Matthew refuses to shut up here, even though the game tells him to shut the fuck up with the gun to his head, and he still continues to talk.
All I got is my word, my dick, and my Mac 10.
Hey, the game talking about his dick. Get used to that.
One thing you can never have is my motherfucking black skin.
Another diss claiming that Eminem wants to be black as its main premise of the diss. What's this, the 45th one that we've heard so far?
So, he goes platinum, and I'm on the math with him.
Hey, an Eminem cadence. Get used to that.
He got all the blackest friends. He wants to be African. Me.
Ah, the you wanna be me trope that we always hear in diss tracks. Also, more Eminem wants to be black disses. If only we haven't already heard this topic being harped on in disses by Nick Cannon, Cannabis, Nick Cannon again, as is K. Rhino, D'Angelo Bailey's lawyer, Cannabis again, Ja Rule, Everlast, Benzino, Nick Cannon a third time, Benzino again, Cannabis a third
all
time, The
fall
Source Magazine,
down.
ICP
Every
Evidence,
last one of
ICP
them.
again, Haystack, and Benzino a third time.
Left for dead on the doctor's advocate. Dre never executive produced it. I just imagined it.
Isn't this supposed to be about Eminem? Is he still salty that Dre didn't
At
produce
all.
the doc?
You know what? This all makes sense as to why there was a show called Beef when the Game and 50 Cent were beefing at the time. And I can see why the record label dropped the Game because of it. Before he dissed Eminem. I don't know, man. It's just... Sometimes the rap industry, they just want to destroy their rap careers. The way Machine Gun Kelly and Ja Rule and them destroy their own rap careers, try to, call themselves destroying Eminem in any shape or format, and yet they all fall down. It's like they're just taking L's after another. And what the Game is doing, he's not doing no favors at all.
Dre did not produce that. Why is that even being mentioned right here? And the album still went #1 and sold 360,000 copies first week, so what the fuck is he mad about? If anything, it's 50 Cent's fault that Dr. Dre didn't produce it, not Eminem's.
Here goes the magic tricks, candy shops, and the magic stick.
Hey, an Eminem cadence. Get used to that. Also, the game is swapping back and forth between mockingly trying to rap how he thinks Eminem sounds using Eminem's cadence, and also rapping how the game truly raps. And honestly, the lines are starting to get blurred, so now I can't even tell what is real and what's being exaggerated.
D'Angelo Bailey got in shape to whip your ass again.
He's bringing up Eminem's middle school bully? What? That dude sued in the early 2000s because he said Eminem lied about being bullied, even though D'Angelo Bailey went on several shows and said that he actually did bully Eminem. He then proceeded to lose the lawsuit and the judge rapped the verdict back to him. If any time in history, that would have been the time to get back in shape and whip his ass because of how embarrassing it was.
Exactly.
Not 20 years later.
So pass me the torch, cause the torture in my mind with the voice that defied rhymes.
Hey, another Eminem cadence with useless rhyme schemes. Are you used to it yet? Because it's happened a fuck ton.
You depressed, you just masking it. You pop an Adderall, a Vicodin, and an aspirin.
Contrary to this statement, Eminem has actually been quite open about being depressed. It's literally the first 5 words of his song Beautiful.
I'm just so fucking depressed.
I was in the white Rolls Royce with 5.9s.
Earlier, he said all he had was his dick and his Mac 10, but now he's got 5.9 millimeters, so what the fuck happened?
All I got is my word, my dick, and my Mac 10. I was in the white Rolls Royce with 5.9s.
Also, he really stretched this 5.9s thing to make the Royce to 5.9 punchline that's
That don't
coming
even
up.
rhyme
It's
at
just
all.
bad
You
writing.
just said
This
it
is what I
twice.
was talking about earlier. earlier with the lines being blurred. I can't tell if he's trying to rap like an over-exaggerated old-school Eminem or rapping like he normally raps now.
Might just force the white guy to call D12 so he can be the pork that grinds swine.
Eminem and D12 haven't been a solid group together since 2006. Why is this being mentioned?
And the biggest rap in Detroit, that award is Sean Dimes.
It's quite literally not. Whether you're talking album sales, monthly listeners on Spotify, what have you, none of those are true. I love Big Sean, but this is just not factual.
So uncork the Chardonnay and stick my fork in white wine.
Oh, I get it now. He did it so he could have a punchline about Big Sean's song Marvin and Chardonnay and the white wine. But that's still a forced punchline based off the lie that Big Sean is the biggest rapper in Detroit. It's very similar to the Royce da 5'9" bar where he just kind of made stuff up out of thin air so he can make a punchline try to work.
I never heard you in a club. I never heard you in a bar.
Sometimes people just need to understand Eminem doesn't live that lifestyle. He does need to go to a club to promote his music. Basically, every time he promotes his music, people just love his work. I mean, even Eminem loyal fans, black or white, would appreciate his work, his craft. He doesn't have to be like a mainstream artist to go to the club and perform his songs. When you think about it, he's already being accepted by the black community. It's obvious.
I went to Club La Vila in Panama City, Florida. I vividly remember the Yin Yang Twins being the main act for that night. And as part of the hype-up music, they played 50 Cent's In the Club and Eminem's Crack a Bottle. Coincidentally, a game song was not played that evening. Also, you cannot tell me that Shake That was not played in millions of clubs across the U.S.
Shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for me.
Same goes for Smack That with Akon.
Iconic song. I remember that
This was
song.
the criteria for being one of the best rappers ever. We'd have a lot of shit rappers in the GOAT conversation. This
Oh,
is just
yeah.
a bad stance from an argument that people have said for years now.
11 albums and 10 never got play inside.
3 copies to a T of Eminem flows. We have the flow from Lose Yourself, which came from Eminem's Curtain Call or 8 Mile soundtrack, depending
Yeah.
on which one you want to use. It
One of
doesn't
his
really
best
matter.
songs
So
ever did
he
it.
goes platinum and I'm on the map with him.
The flow from My Name Is, which came from the Slim Shady LP,
I'm the black Slim Shady.
and some flows and sound effects from the real Slim Shady, which came from the Marshall Mathers LP.
I killed Dr. Dre in my basement last night.
There's also at least 4 other times where Game's rapping in a very familiar Eminem cadence.
Cause the torture in my mind with the voice that defied rhymes. Sick in the brain, sick is the day that I came. G.A. Ficky. In my face, I'm him. Calling out the driver's side like it's in the B. And me, I'm finna be on a jet to the Philippines. Philippines.
I just can't be bothered to dig through all the songs to find the exact ones because this is already a 12-minute video and we just hit the halfway point. The point is, Game is exemplifying at minimum 3 Eminem album styles in this song alone, rendering the statement that he's only played one Eminem album completely false. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that he's listened to every Eminem album, so we're gonna give 1 sin per lie per album.
I'd rather listen to Sweet Child like 69 times and participate in 69s with 69 nuns than listen to you.
Then why have you rapped like him for the last 5 minutes? In the very interview that started all of this, he called Eminem
Like Eminem so much, why do you call yourself trying to diss him in one song, knowing that you're gonna end up getting a full backlash online, and yet knowing him, he doesn't even care, because based on the result, it ain't good. It's trash. It's bad, and you didn't even mention one thing about Eminem. You were just rapping about yourself, talking about your penis and all of that gay stuff. Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Ficky.
He's also on record as having Eminem his number 4 rapper alive right now.
Wow.
What happened to all that?
You're a Karen. Call
What
the
a
cops.
hypocrite.
It's a black man on your block.
Jesus Christ. This was the second and stupidest line of the whole thing.
Epstein's chasing me around Epstein Island.
Game pretends that dead people aren't dead again. Also, this weird noise that the game makes is imitating Eminem's noise from his song Just Lose It, which was on Encore, making this the 4th confirmed Eminem album that the game is imitating on this very song, despite saying that he's only ever listened to 1 Eminem album.
I'm thinking. Nothing rhymes with orange.
Here, the game is making fun of Eminem trying to rhyme with orange that he did on his song
And
Tone
what was
Deaf,
that sound
which
he
came from
made?
his recent project.
Was he having an
Recently Recorded
orgasm or
by
something?
Side B, making this the 5th confirmed album that the game is imitating on this very song, despite saying he's only ever listened to 1 Eminem album.
So 50-50, Slim Shady, please stand up.
Hey, another Eminem cadence. Get used to that.
Shoot the fade with me. I love to put these hands up.
Game literally said in this interview talking about the entire beef that he's not actually trying to fight, he just wants to rap with someone.
When I said what I said about M, it was to challenge him, to challenge hip hop.
And you
to
failed.
Ignite a rap riot.
You failed, bruh.
Not a street fight or not let's pull out the straps.
This Slim Haley's with me, and she's unharmed for now.
I'm really scared.
Hey, mentioning Haley on a diss track against Eminem. Nobody's ever done that.
I'm cold as COVID, Ebola, the Spanish flu and Corona.
2 COVID bars in one line. You can't make
He's
this
not
shit
even
up.
talking about
Also, the
Eminem at
game's
this
the
point.
4 millionth rapper that said he's cold as a cold.
The Zika virus, pneumonia is deep inside my persona.
Hey, an Eminem cadence. Get used to that.
The renegade or the soldier, I really gave it to Hova. How I feel.
At this point, the game is literally just recycling everything that everybody has ever said and touching on every single buzzword he can think of. Right now, it's Renegade. He already went after Haley. Surely he's not gonna go after Kim or his mother Debbie at some point too, right?
23 years still ain't penetrating the culture.
I'm not gonna list every accolade because I'd be here forever, but this is false.
You are not top 5 in mine, big or pop eyes.
No shit! Biggie and Tupac are dead, and they died before the Slim Shady LP came out, which is when everybody heard him. That's like saying Elvis or Jimi Hendrix doesn't have Metallica in their top 5. No fucking shit! Also, literally just over a year ago, the game tweeted that Eminem was in his top 5. You can't
So
make
what
this
changed?
up. It's still on his Twitter. I don't know how many sins to give this. We're going with 1,000 because there's just direct
Oh
proof.
my
With a
God.
white line.
Eminem is going on 13 years sober. This is the Nick Cannon approach of talking about old drug use. And if there's somebody that you don't want to copy in an Eminem diss track, it's Nick Cannon.
My Suge Knight, Vanilla Ice.
Hey, the game calling Eminem Vanilla Ice. Nobody's ever done that before in a diss track against Eminem. Yeah. Also, Suge Knight used to stalk Vanilla Ice and would just show up anywhere that he was out of nowhere, including his own hotel room. And in that hotel room, he took him to the balcony and threatened to throw him off the edge if he didn't sign away some points to Ice Ice Baby. So unless the game somehow comes
Yeah, I
away with some
remember that.
points for Eminem's Lose
But
Yourself, I
still
think we can
kinda
call his bluff
cringe.
here.
I'm crazy.
Hey, an Eminem style. Get used to that.
I'm not Mr. Nice Guy.
Hey, you just said that. Literally like 5 seconds ago. Just said those exact words.
You done pissed off Jimmy, Universal, and Interscope. Nope, I got Jimmy, Slim 50, and Universal, Interscope.
YouTube rappers have been saying this punchline for 4 years now.
Then I'm running in the Interscope. If they don't sign me, then the Interscope.
Crazier than Kim.
Hey, the game talking about Kim on an Eminem diss track because nobody's ever done that before. Yeah.
You love your mother? Well, I'm cleaning out your closets for you and your half brother.
Hey, the game talking about Eminem's mom on a diss track against Eminem because nobody's ever done that before. Yeah.
And I told you when I was in Detroit, I wanted to go to 8 Mile. Cause when I was little to get some M&Ms, I had to walk 8 miles.
What the
He said
fuck?
8 Mile
This is
twice.
the stupidest line of the whole
Oh,
song.
God.
This is so...
You cannot make this up, bruh.
100 cents.
Leave his brains off, then the game's all in, then the chainsaw ring, ring.
Hey, another Eminem style, even though the game says he doesn't listen to Eminem. Get used to that.
Hello? Hello? Page and Dr. Dre? He ain't got a lot to say.
Hey, another Eminem style, even though the game says he doesn't listen to Eminem. Get used to that.
But since Curtis always do, let him write the rhymes for you.
The game literally said in this interview that he wants to battle 50 Cent, but that he can't rap and won't rap. So he's battling Eminem because 50 won't rap. So this is completely contradictory to the main goal.
Because 50 can't rap. He can't out-rap me, so your buddy can rap, though. And so I got to go a level up and challenge the better rapper.
The chick on the show wasn't picking me and Mariah wasn't picking you.
The game does the Eminem 8 Mile tactic and disses himself on the song, so Eminem can't respond with the diss, right? Also, the game talks about Mariah on an Eminem diss track because nobody's ever done that before. Yeah.
Do rag for 10 years and never had one wave.
Damn
This is one of the
shame,
best
bruh.
disses of the whole song. Too bad Ja Rule said this fucking 15 years ago.
It was the do-rag off. You're never gonna have waves. You'll never know black pain.
This is not Mom's spaghetti.
What does this even mean? There's so much of this throughout the whole thing. I understand the famous line of Eminem's Mom's Spaghetti, but this is not Mom's Spaghetti. What does it fucking mean?
This your dad
At all.
was 22 when he ate Lil Debbie. He tasted the cake.
Lil Debbie?
She was only 15, so how can one not sympathize with her having you as a teen?
Finally, a legitimate great diss. I will remove one sin for Sir Game. But the game also just lost a sexual assault court case, so he's not really one to speak on this issue. So I'll take that
Uh-huh.
sin back now.
Little
forget
Marshall
about that.
matters. Mad cause nobody thinks that Little Marshall matters.
Have I mentioned that Eminem literally has not said a single word about this entire thing? If anything, the game is pissed off and mad because so many people think that Eminem is in their top 5 and would kill him in a versus battle.
And I used to think Eminem was better than me.
So what you saying right
He
now?
not. He not. He's not. Challenge. Hey, challenge it.
Game, you don't want to go versus against
Yes,
Eminem.
I do. What do you mean? Yeah, I do. The fuck you mean?
So if anything was the matter, the game is getting madder and madder that Little Marshall Mathers matters.
Let's get this shit all together. The picture was ripped, I fixed it.
On this diss track, he took the biggest L of his life. Him, Nick Cannon, MGK, those who came to take Eminem's throne, they all fell straight to the concrete. Trust me, you do not want to challenge Eminem to a rap battle. Don't ever do it. it's not worth your career.
This shit all together.
The game rhymes all together with all together. They're the bookend rhymes with some inner rhymes in the middle of it, but the bookend rhymes are still the same word.
I even kidnapped Stan's brother and baited him here for you.
Hey, did I mention that Matthew's dead?
But you would just say no. Probably leave us in the blistering cold.
Hey, another direct line from an Eminem song, even though the game says he doesn't listen to Eminem. Get used to that.
God made you damn near perfect, he just missed your soul.
So you agree that he raps well.
You ain't a shell of who you used to be.
Hey, another diss that somebody else has already said. Get used to that.
And after you, it's me on a Uzi spree like it's two of me. And Matthew's dead now.
Matthew was already dead! Also, earlier in the
keeps
song, he
bringing
said
up
he
his
only had a
dead
Mac
brother.
10,
Like,
and then it
why?
turned into a Mac 10 and 5.9 millimeters. Now it's a Mac 10, 5.9 millimeters, and an Uzi? How many fucking guns is this guy carrying on him? Also, that sound effect was not in Uzi. That sounded more like one of the 9 millimeters he's got.
Did you re-dye your beard or get another facelift or do shrooms in your mom's basement?
Nick Cannon and MGK have quite literally said all of those things in their diss track.
How ironic. An addict in the basement.
13-year-old drug joke. Cool. Alright, in all seriousness, I will take away a sin for this because I love this punchline. I know Eminem has said something similar about being an addict and using the room addict and drug addict and that flip, but this was cool, okay? I'll give him this one.
You never understood ebonics or cadence.
I'll take that sin back now. The whole song is the game using Eminem cadences, but he says he doesn't understand cadences. The hypocrisy is immaculate.
While I'm here, I should really thank MGK, UGK, Tech 9, Uzi Spray.
Is Game shouting out MGK because he kind of gave him a green light to diss Eminem because he made Rap God? A big part of the Eminem MGK beef happened on a song with Tech 9. If so, that does explain why he waited till just now to diss Eminem, even though he's had since 2006 to do so, since that's how long he and 50 have been beefing.
Hi kids, here's some fun.
Hey, another Eminem cadence, even though he said Eminem doesn't understand cadences. Are you fucking used to it yet?
Let's all say nigga once.
Fun fact, there's more recorded cases of the game being convicted of sexual assault than Eminem using the N-word.
Your fans want a rap guy? Well, fuck it. I'ma give him one.
Where? Listen, I'm not one to fondly hate. The game is a fucking incredible rapper. Definitely a top 15, top 20 rapper of all time. But this is not the game. I don't know what this is.
This is
I
an
came
L.
to put Slim in the box, but he already living one.
The game waits till the very last line of the song to actually drop a really cool bar.
Pick that pen up, don't be lazy.
80% of this diss was just him using old Eminem cadences. Talk about being lazy.
My God. Let's be honest here. They always try to bring up his daughter in a diss track. It never worked. They failed every single step of the way they try to do something. The game thought he did something, but he just failed completely. So if anybody took the biggest L, it's the game himself. And for one thing, Eminem won the battle once again. He didn't really need to respond to the game. The game did it all to himself. He went on interviews calling himself trying to diss Eminem. 1 minute he liked him, calling him a top 5 rapper. And then all of a sudden, right now, you're saying that you want to challenge Eminem. You used to think that he's one of your top 4 MCs. He's not. You want to challenge him. Why? All you're doing is chasing clout. You're already one of the greatest, one of the best rappers out there. But this track was not it. You did not mention Eminem. You didn't talk about, his career. All you were talking about is your penis sizes. Talking about how you're going to do this and that. You just try to copy everything Eminem does. And guess what? You failed. You failed, man. So shout out to Crip for putting out this video. So if y'all enjoy my reaction and my thoughts, let me know in the comments down below. And I'm going to holler at y'all in my other video.